Yasuke, the Black Blade of the Sengoku Jidai. Africa's enigmatic samurai in feudal Japan's crucible of chaos in the sweltering coastal entrepets of 16th century East Africa, where the Indian Ocean as turquoise swells lapped against coral reefs teeming with dhows laden with ivory and spices. A young man named Yasuke, his original African name, lost to the mists of enslavement, first tasted the bitter chains of captivity. Born around 1555, likely in Mozambique among the Yao people's riverine villages, or perhaps farther north in the Ethiopian highlands, Yasuke towered at 6 feet 2 inches. A frame forged by relentless labor, hauling nets fending off slavers' raids, surviving a world that saw him as exotic rather than human. The transatlantic slave trade's tendrils had yet to fully grip the continent, but Portuguese traders, hungry for curiosities to dazzle European courts, snatched him as a teenager. By 1579, scrubbed of tribal scars and clad in the Jesuits' coarse woolen robes, Yasuke entered the service of Alessandro Valignano, Italian Visitor General of the Jesuit missions in Asia. As valet and bodyguard, his prodigious strength became indispensable, hauling trunks through monsoon-drenched ports, warding off thieves in Goa's bazaars. Standing sentinel during midnight masses where incense curled like serpents around gilded altars, Asia beckoned with peril and promise. In 1579, Valignano's retinue Portuguese interpreters, Japanese converts, chests of rosaries embarked from Macau on a creaking carrack. Slicing through typhoon-lashed seas toward the land of the rising sun, Japan, in the throes of the Sengoku Jidai, was a fractured mosaic of daimyo warlords clawing for supremacy amid Ashigaru spear walls, ninja shadow strikes, and arquebus volleys that shattered the old Bushido code. Anchoring in Kyushu's fog-shrouded bays, Yasuke's odyssey from African shores to samurai legend ignited a saga of cultural collision, unyielding loyalty, and katana-forged destiny beneath the crimson banner of a demon king. The Jesuits' arrival in Kyoto, March 1581, caused uproar. Samurai in lacquered armor bartered with merchants hawking silk fans and lacquered bento. Ronin beggars eyed purses with assassin's glint. Valignano sought audience with Oda Nobunaga, the era's audacious unifier, a 47-year-old warlord whose ruthless genius toppled rivals like the Imagawa and Takeda clans, controlling a third of Japan from his fortress at Azuchi Castle. Nobunaga, dubbed Tensho, or the Sixth Demon King for his innovative tactics deploying Tanegashima matchlocks en masse, and allying with Portuguese gunsmiths despised rigid samurai traditions, favoring merit over birthright. Through Kyoto's torii-arched streets, Yasuke strode at the fore, ebony skin gleaming under spring sun, towering above locals' 5-foot frames, clad in a borrowed haori that strained against broad shoulders. Crowds surged like a human tide, trampling each other in frenzy. Chroniclers whisper of injuries, even deaths, as commoners clambered for a glimpse of this black Tengu, mistaking him for a divine apparition. Nobunaga, summoned to Hanoji Temple, arrived in a palanquin borne by Ashigaru, fox fur cloak billowing like storm clouds. Jesuit letters from Luis Froy's capture the warlord's incredulity. Suspecting Yasuke's a trick, Nobunaga commanded him to strip and scrub vigorously in a bronze basin. As suds swirled over unyielding blackness, turned to delight, he laughed uproariously, a rare peal from the man who burned Enryaku-ji Monastery in 1571, slaughtering 4,000 monk warriors. "This is no man, but a sturdy ox," Nobunaga proclaimed, dubbing him Yasuke Lucky Helper and claiming him as Koshua page and weapon-bearer. Bathed in perfumed waters, dressed in a quilted kasode tunic embroidered with the hollyhock crest, Yasuke received a wakizashi, its tamahagane blade etched with crane motifs. Courtiers whispered of possible elevation to Tanwo, a full lordship, an unprecedented honor for a Gaijin. Yasuke plunged into Nobunaga's inner sanctum, Azuchi Castle, a 7-storied dungeon of black lacquered timbers and gilded shoji screens, guarded by cannon embrasures. He shadowed the daimyo in war councils amid cedar-scented halls, maps of unclaimed provinces unrolling like dragon scrolls, strategists plotting against Ikiki rebels. Nobunaga, fascinated, quizzed Yasuke on African elephant hunts and gem rhythms. Yasuke, fluent in Japanese within months, regaled him with Jesuit lore and African kingdoms marvels. Meals deepened their bond. Yasuke, once denied scraps, now dined at low lacquered tables, hands dwarfing chopsticks, as retainers like Mori Ranmaru eyed him with wary respect. Adventure soon beckoned. In 1581, Yasuke joined the Tenshu Iga War, suppressing ninja clans in bamboo-choked mountain passes. Wielding a 5-foot nodachi, he cleaved through barricades and Ashigaru ranks, his roars echoing like thunder over the Ki Peninsula. Nobunaga, watching from a hilltop pavilion, promoted him to full samurai, 500 koku stipend, private residence, a katana from the daimyo's armory. Chronicles affirm, Yasuke, first recorded foreign-born Bushi, stood shoulder to shoulder with Nobunaga's elite, his African vitality a counterpoint to the warlord's cerebral fire. Sengoku's tempests peaked in 1582, riding at the vanguard against Takeda at Temokuzan. Yasuke scouted border skirmishes, arquebus smoke-choking cherry blossoms. Treachery brewed. Akechi Mitsuhide plotted in Kyoto's tea houses. June 21, 1582 at Hanaji Temple, Mitsuhide's 13,000 rebels surrounded the compound, igniting roofs in a hellish blaze. Nobunaga, seizing his sword, entrusted Yasuke, "Strike true, my black lion, bare my head to Nobutada, that enemies may not desecrate it." Amid crashing beams and wailing flutes, Yasuke fought like a Jin unchained, katana slicing arcs of crimson, tanta parrying, forging a path to Nobunaga, who performed seppuku, thrusting his head into Yasuke's arms. Charging to Niyo Castle, Yasuke bought time for Nobutada's defenders before capture, wounded by Mitsuhide. After 1582, Yasuke fades into the mists. Jesuit records hint at a tall African in Kyoto's seminary through the 1590s, perhaps teaching swordplay or laboring in presses. Legends suggest he returned as a ronin at Okitana Wait.